Dear students, happy to welcome you all to the English Year Learning Program. This session deals with the third supplementary of 11th English titled The First Patient, written by C.V. Burgess. Let us discuss the author of this story. The full name of this author is Christopher Victor Burgess. He is a humorous playwright. Playwright means one who writes plays. Plays means dramas. His situational humor intensifies emotions of the characters in the play. He is known as C.V. Burgess. His plays usually accommodate number of characters. His famous works are short plays for large classes, Teach Yourself Speech Training, and Classroom Playhouse Verse in Action. Let us move into the story now. Let's see the introduction of this play. The playwright C.V. Burgess has used an unexpected turn of events in the play to create a situation. This lesson is based on the adage, that is a saying, assumption leads to confusion. Assumption means guessing. That is, guessing always leads to confusion. The supposition increases in intensity until the climax, which pricks the intensity like a bubble. The unexpected turn of events along with wild imagination add humorous to the amusing play. Moreover, this short story is a play, that is, it is a drama. And this story, that is, this drama contains many characters. So, let us not get confused with the characters. Total number of characters in this play are 20. Can't you believe this? Yes. They are 8 women. That is, women 1 to women 8. And men 1 to men 8. So there are 8 women and 8 men. And a dentist, a nurse, a little girl named Dorothea, and the last one is a small boy named Maurice. Shall we see the drama now? Come on, let's go. When the curtain rises, 8 women and 6 men are seated in the waiting room of a dentist. You know who is a dentist? A dentist is a person whose job is treating people's dental problems, and he is the expert in dealing these problems. Some of them are reading magazines or newspapers. Man 4 has a bandage around his jaw. Man 3, woman 5 and 6 are entering the room. Woman 5 says that they will have some time until the dentist sees them. She takes a pack of photos of her holiday and shows her. Remember, throughout this play, this woman 5 concentrates on showing her photographs. Right. The man 5 asks the man 6 what was the time by his watch. The other man says it is almost 8:30 and the dentist should be along any moment then. The woman 6 gets irritated and tells to see a dentist at the early hour of the morning is dreadful, as she was not half awake. Man 5 is worried that he is going to be late for work and hopes that the dentist won't be late. Man 6 utters that something should be done about the dental hours. He has said this so many times and he will go on saying so. As soon as they see the nurse enter in, woman 6 assures that the dentist would be coming soon. Woman 5 is concentrating on showing the photographs to woman 6. She tells her about a photograph which is one of the boarding hours at Wadling-on-Sea, their boarding house. She also shows the steps where she fell and how they had a hearty laugh over it. Woman 6 compliments the place. Again, woman 5 shows her their landlady's photograph and tells her that she has a nice face and she is a good lady. Enters woman 7 and her daughter Dorothea. This Dorothea is the little girl. This little girl does not want to see the dentist. She goes on nagging her mother that she wants to avoid the dentist. But her mother warns her about what her dad said. If she won't have her teeth seen to, she won't get more ice lollies. The little girl prefers losing the ice lollies to visiting the dentist. The weeping little girl is dragged to her seat by her mother. The dentist enters and calls for the first patient. Joe, the first patient, gets ready to go in and his wife wants to make sure that the dentist pulls the right tooth. Here we can understand that the name of the man 1 is Joe. Right. He exits into surgery bidding goodbye. Woman 2 hopes that dentist is ever so good. The woman 3 assures that he was good as he has taken out 6 for Mrs. Johnston and she never felt a bit of pain. Enters woman 8 with her son Maurice. That is, this Maurice is a little boy in this drama. She advises not to be afraid of the dentist. But the little boy was not afraid of him. His mother tells him that the dentist just gives a little pull to the tooth and all the pain will go away. The boy asks his mother not to treat him like a baby and he is not afraid of the dentist. When his mother asks him to sit, he tells her that he feels like reading a magazine and so he goes to get it. The boy looks through the pile of magazine. Man 5 tells that he is going to ask for anesthesia to null, that is to reduce the pain of pulling the tooth, as he cannot forget what happened the last time. Another man next to him gives an information to him that a chap, that is a friend, once asked for gas, that is anesthesia, and it was the last time he never asked for anything. Man 4 said he would not ask for gas but go with the old fashioned methods. Woman 5 shows her photograph of sitting on donkey the wrong way round and riding it. Just then the nurse goes into the surgery with a large hammer. Man 3, Man 6 and Man 7 are astonished seeing this and hope that he is not going to use it, as it is a peculiar thing to have in a surgery. As the sound of hammering is heard from the surgery, everyone gets worried, especially woman 1, who weeps loudly as Joe, that is her husband, is inside the dentist room. Woman 2 consoles her, saying that the dentist probably knows what he is doing. The woman gets worried that the dentist would be hammering on her husband, that is Joe's tooth. She weeps and grumbles about this. Woman 2 consoles her and asks her to sit quietly. When Man 5 says that he doesn't like the sound of the hammering, Man 4 answers him that the dentist knows what he is doing. The nurse enters from the surgery and walks to the left. The woman 7 comments that the nurse doesn't look worried, but let the patient get worried as it never does any harm to anyone. Joe's wife scolds her for talking like that. Enters the nurse from the left carrying a large pair of pliers and goes into the surgery. Seeing this, the woman 1 cries in horror. Again, woman 2 consoles her when man 3 says that the pliers is quite big. Man 4 contradicts this as it was nothing big to what they used in the old days. He heard of a chap, that is friend, the roots of whose teeth were wrapped round his jaw bone, and he was 5 hours in the chair. There is a sudden screech of metal from the surgery. Woman 1, that is the wife of Joe, is about to make a dash for the surgery, but she is stopped by woman 2. Remember students, this will always be happening in the clinic, because whenever the unusual sound hears from the dentist, that is inside the clinic, this woman 1, that is the wife of Joe, is always worrying. The small boy and the little girl fight over a magazine. You know the names of these two? Right. The small boy's name is Maurice and the little girl's name is Dorothea. Right. These two children fight over a magazine. Their mothers attempt to separate them. Through all this noise, woman 5 is still trying to show her photographs. Woman 6 sarcastically says that she wishes some people would keep their children under control, hitting at woman 7. The children settle down after some time. Man 2 says that there should be a special waiting room for children. As the metallic screech is heard again, the woman 1 sobs again and says that she can't stand it. When the small boy asks his mother what was the noise, she checks him not to ask awkward questions. But man 7 frightens by telling him that it sounds the same when he has his teeth pulled out, because then it will be inside his head. Woman 6 and man 6 accuse man 7 for telling such a disgusting thing to a kid. But man 7 contradicts them, saying that it will do him good and we as parents should bring them natural. The small boy gets worried at this and compels his mother to take him to school, as he only joked that he had a toothache to stay away from school. The mother drags him out by his ear and says that she will ask the headmaster to give him a good thrashing. Woman 5 is still showing her photographs, saying this one should make quite an impression on woman 6. Enters the nurse from the surgery. The dentist's voice is heard asking the nurse to hurry up or they will never get that thing to be shifted. Man 5 and 6 saying that they cannot wait any longer. Man 5 and man 6 go out. Woman 6 comments that they can't really be using those tools to take out a tooth. Man 7 criticizes the men who had gone as cowards, as they can't take the hard way. The little girl also tells her mother that she was only joking, that she had got a toothache in order to avoid going to school. You can understand the situation now. You can't stop your laughing. Her mother scolds her, telling that her tooth is as black as the kitchen range and she needs to consult the dentist. The little breaks into a howl. Man 2 and man 3 exit, as they cannot stand howling children. The little girl's mother accuses her daughter of chasing those two men away. The nurse enters with a hacksaw. Seeing this, the woman one wails that her husband Joe will never stand it. The sound of sawing always puts her teeth on the edge. Man 7 jokes that this time the saw will be on the edge of his teeth. Man 8 wants something to cheer them up. The sound of violent sawing is heard. The woman 1 weeps and dashes towards the door, but is prevented from opening it by woman 2 and 6. Woman 3, woman 4 and woman 6 exit from the waiting, saying that they prefer to keep their toothache and those pliers would never fit their mouth. Man 7 criticizes them as cowards as he watches them go. Woman 2 abuses man 7 to talk that way and criticizes that he doesn't seem to have any nerves at all. Man 7 tells her that is nothing to some of the things he had heard of and started to tell her things that would make her hair stand on end. Woman 2 stops him, saying that her hair is standing on end already. The sawing heard again, even louder. Woman 1, that is the wife of Joe, wails, and man 4, that is who has a bandage on his jaw, groans. Woman 5 asks man 8 to see her photographs. He exits and woman 5 moves to woman 7 and asks her the same question, that is, she asks her to see the photographs of her sister-in-law's little boy. Woman 7 takes the offered photograph reluctantly. The dentist comes out and says that he is fed up with that. He is off to get someone who knows something about the job. For a moment, woman 2, man 4 and woman 5 sit gaping. Then woman 1 wails. Woman 2 and woman 7 and the little girl stand and make for the door left. That is, they were too gone. Man 7 says that he is going to leave. There are cries of, "Me too, so am I, here I go," etc. All except woman 1 and woman 5 go out in a hurry. You know the reason why these two people are staying in the clinic. The reason is woman 1 is waiting for her husband because her husband Joe is inside the surgery room. The reason for waiting for the woman 5 is she doesn't know what is happening in the clinic because she concentrates only on showing her photographs to others. Right, come to the story now. The only people stay in the clinic are woman 1 and woman 5 and man 1, dentist and the nurse. All others except these characters were gone. When woman 1 starts, woman 5 inquires what has happened. Woman 1 tells her that Joe, her husband, is in and that awful dentist was working on him. Woman 5 consoles her and asks her to cheer by looking at her photographs. The woman 5 looks through her photographs and finds that she has lost one of her photographs. She walks across to her previous position and starts looking for the lost photograph. As woman 1 continues sobbing, man 1, Joe, comes out from the surgery and asks Emily, his wife, that is woman 1, why was she crying? She gets worried and asks Joe whether he is alright. When she inquires about all the hammering and sawing in the surgery, Joe tells that was only the dentist trying to force open his instrument cabinet as he lost his key. Further, he said that as he cannot wait any longer that morning, he had made an appointment with him for that evening instead. The nurse gave him some pills to deaden the pain in the meantime. They get relieved and go out from there. The dentist comes out waving a key to the nurse. He tells her that he had found the key. It was under the telephone directory. It was an awful waste of time searching for it. The nurse informs him that the first patient, Joe, made an appointment for the evening. So the dentist asks her to send the next patient. The nurse asks the woman 5 to step into the surgery. The woman 5 is surprised that the long queue had moved quickly. With that, the curtain falls. Dear students, finally, we come to know that she is the only patient left behind to visit the dentist. That is, woman 5 is the last patient. So, who is the first patient? Yes, you are right. Joe is the first patient. That is, man 1 is the first patient. And do you know what had really happened in the dentist room? The dentist loses his key to his tool cabinet, that is toolbox, and he uses the hammer, pliers and a hacksaw to open the tool cabinet, making everyone imagine that he is using these tools to pull out the tooth. And so the patients get worried and shocked about the hammering and sawing sound and decide to leave the waiting room of the dentist. They think that the dentist is using such tools to pull out the tooth of Joe. After they leave, Joe comes out and tells his wife that the dentist uses all those tools to open his tool cabinet as he lost the keys. The strange instruments the nurse carried to the surgery were hammer, a large pair of pliers and a hacksaw. The waiting patients were frightened seeing these instruments, and this has become the cause of all the other patients except woman 1 and woman 5 to leave the clinic. My dear students, with this we can wind up this session. The Tamil explanation of this drama will be followed in the next session. Until then, take care. This is Noheswaran. Thank you.